Hi, good evening, everyone. Hi, Nitesh. Hi, Joy. Hi, Trader. Dude. Hi, Uttam. Hi, Srini. Hi, Sai. Hi, Mihir. Yes, I had a good vacation. I missed the trading and I missed Tesla once again. Every time I'm out, it's Tesla runs $100 on that day. Hi, Sridhar. Hi, Sony. Hi, Mr. Chadda. Hello, 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 hello. Tiwari ji. So let me just start with my basic scan. So I just ran my open low and open high scanner. First one came across was Google. Open at 2960, high at 2960, gave you 75 points. Low about 95 points. Yes. UPS open high same. It was a good sell 211. Airbnb open low same, made high 3% move, $4 move, gave it. Neo open low same, gave approximately 5% from that. Burlington open low same, gave about $12, $13 from there. FSR 1660 gave $1 move. Fubo open low same. So this theory works all the time. Hi Shiran, hi Nitesh, hi Eon. So yeah, Tesla reached my target 1172. When I was pushing that target above 929, many people were not accepting that, but now it's there. Let me run my inside days, my simpler scanner, and see what do we have. We have Microsoft, Apple, Netflix, Caterpillar, FTX, DDoc, Photo. Okay, let me just make a note. Apple inside day. Apple had inside day. Microsoft, I have not included Microsoft. I need to add. Microsoft has been a blockbuster stock. It never shies away. We'll see whether it's going to break up or break down, but it's there. Netflix. Even Shopify tested my targets above 1493 to ran. AMD, okay. I think that's pretty much it. If you have any, hi Shobit, if you guys have any other tickers, these are few which I wanted to include. If you have any other tickers, do let me know. I will pick it up. Sophie. I'll pick them up once I'm done with my analysis. And I hope you all had a good day. I was not trading at all, so I had no plus or minus. Chimaya, Chewy. Hi, Ian. Nice to see you from UK. I am here. All right. A couple of more minutes. Let me just check on ES right now. ES is trading at 45.98. Let me just check my charts. And I did had positions in United Airlines, which I closed in good profit today. That's the only thing I did. So ES, again, like it's making a evening star right at the top, but we had the evening star here that could not actually work out. And before like going into the details, one thing which I was checking that Senator Manchin is once upon in disagreement with the Democratic bill, and they're tying together of the infra bill with this reconciliation bill. And last Friday, that capital gain tax was removed from that bill, and market appreciated that. But since afternoon, when he mentioned that, yes, it's going to take time to figure out how we are going to pay out the money for all these plans. There is still a slight possibility that that may come back. If that doesn't come back, market will rally in one direction because still we are getting pumped from the FOMC dollar amount and the European Central Bank dollar amount, which is just coming to us every month. And valuations are expensive. That's true, but there's huge liquidity around. So that will still push the valuations higher. And if there's no possible reason to sell the equities before the end of the year, then they will only go up with that kind of liquidity available. Now, point is, should we call this as a peak or should we come back and get into the trades? Right now, if you see ES on the daily charts, it's possibly making a evening star that will confirm below 45.81, and then it can come down to 45.47, which will again be a good move, considering that yes, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, maybe 15 or 16 candles away from the 12 EMA. Usually about 16 or 17, they come and meet each other. So yes, there is a possibility, but I am not going to short this market. You may possibly want to hedge if you want to. Also, looking at the macroeconomic numbers which came last week, there is a possibility that Fed may also consider tapering, but with a limited amount, like what ECB did. They are not caring about any inflation, any debt rising. What they are doing is just pumping a huge amount of dollars into the economy. So if that happens, market will give a thumbs up and they will move it in the high direction, upward. All right. So right now, what I would do is I would wait for 45.81. If it comes around that range, I will try to enter there with a stop loss of 45.50, 60. 45.60 was an area where it kind of managed to bounce, but I'll not be jumping right away here because this was our target. Like, you remember, I had a chart with 46.07, which I removed and had these new levels. I'm still expecting 46.68, 69 number by the end of this week because I'm expecting Fed to do nothing than just merely talk and raise concerns. But I'll not be jumping onto any trades because there's a Fed event on Wednesday. There might be pretty less movement in stocks, especially in ES and NASDAQ, ignoring IWM. As I said last week, IWM has huge potential to run. It did that today. So I am pretty positive as of now in the market. So I'm just keeping my positive bias, but I'll be buying it around 45. I think this range is fine. 45.70, 45.80. I'll get a confirmation above 45.81. Stop loss should be 45.60, this area. 45.60, yes. And my first target will be 46. Look at the open today, 46.08. That will be my first target instead of. Once we break 46.08, we'll move towards 46.68. So even looking at the ES now, there's a potential range around 15 points where it can come down, and I'll be jumping to enter at that moment. But I'll not be buying at this level. I'll be waiting for it to come around 45.70, 45.80. Once it comes around that level and tries to bounce, I'll jump. So let me just make it clear. Buy above 45.81. Buy the dip above 45.81. That's too big. And I am conviction wise, I'm just giving it a 60%. because it has already moved so much. I just want to be on a safer side. So, and neutral, I am going to be neutral. If it breaks below 45.60, first target will be 45.47 and 45.19. Yeah, pretty much it. Yes. It's still neutral. The good confirmation will come when we'll go below 45.50, because that was the area where it had shown some level of strength. On daily charts, it's still making an evening star, but I'm not trading that evening star because it's like futures right now. If you're not doing futures, it doesn't matter to you anymore, because by tomorrow we may have touched this area and may have jumped. So I will not be doing any uh, expectations set on that. But what I want is to wait for the center area to come. If you're an aggressive trader and you want to do quick shots on futures, this is the area. Below 45.89, you can go short. You might get 45.60, 45.70 around that range. So again, I'm just setting up the expectation. I will wait for the dip, and once that dip cross above 45.81, only then I'm going to jump into this. I'm not jumping right now in the futures. Okay, triple Q. Triple Q, I had my target to 389. Once it break it, we are almost there, 289. And I did check on Black Box, the option flow tool, that yeah, they have substantial amount of calls for 389. So it exactly followed my level. So I'm kind of waiting that it comes around 382.83. I'll be a buyer in that. So it's good if we can have a little bit of ease off, especially on tech stocks around this level, which is 384. So I'll be actually a buyer at 384.39 rather than for doing anything else. QQQ, I'll be a buyer about 384. 384. Come on, 384.39. My stop loss will get updated now. It will be 382.71. And again, I'm positive on triple Q, buying the dip. Again, same theory. If it comes around 382.83 and bounces to 384.39, I'll definitely be a buyer in that area. And I'm confident on this. Nvidia, last time we talked about this, that it has potential to 265 from 252. It almost came near to 258 today. It's holding this big gap, and 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 13 candles away. They, like, as of now, I don't see any issues here until 281. But if I have to draw some more levels here, I can. Let me just draw that and see what we can get from there. So this was the area where we had a bounce from 180. Then we went all the way here. Then we had a retracement to this point. And that's the new area. So let me just do one thing. Let me just change the color for this. Just giving it a dark blue. This is a dark blue color. So even in that, I don't see anything else. It's 281 area. So I think it's pretty much good. There's no need to have this. It's making higher. It was a double inside day and a breakout, 2 candles up. I would simply keep a stop loss of 252, which is the highest of this candle. 250, 259. If it comes around any vicinity of this, I will not miss it. So NVIDIA, I am still positively biased on this. I'll be buying, I'll be keeping this stop loss 252 now, because we are moving higher and higher, so stop losses will be definitely higher. And my entry would be somewhere here, 255.40, which is the closing point of previous day. Usually I prefer the closing here because it's holding the opening above it, which shows a positive sentiment. So if we have a situation where we have back-to-back candles moving up and the EMS is lagging a lot and there are no intermediate resistance, I tend to keep this, which is the close of the previous candle, and just check if the close is lower than the open of the next candle. If it's yes, then I keep the stop loss of the previous close. So 255 area should be my entry point. If it holds 255, I will definitely try to enter this. Again, I'm just giving it a 60% because it has moved up. It needs to come down in this area and I'll be jumping on this. Google, again, it got, people were very positive on this, but look at here. It got rejected right again from the long-term trend line. It bounced right from the long-term support line, but got rejected from the right long-term trend line. Today, it closed below this area, which is the long-term support line, medium support line. So if it does not cross and hold 2897, and this is the bearish engulfing candle as well, the entire candle here covered the top and the close of previous candles. So it's a bearish engulfing, shows negative. The momentum, if it does not hold this 2875 area, it has possibility to test 2852 and 2812. If it bounces above 2897, it can run for the 3000 mark, which will be somewhere here. But right now, looking at this, I will simply mark this as neutral in Google because I was positive, so I'm just marking it neutral. I'll be just keeping a sell on this. Even if it is neutral, I'm just keeping a sell with a very clearly defined stop loss. If it goes below the today's low, 2860, or I would say 2852, that will be much, much better. 2852, stop loss 2875, potential is 2812, and I'm not going below that as of now, and I'm giving like a 60% short to it, and I am marking this in red. It's a possible setup which is in the negative direction. Apple, and again, like if stop loss hits and a stock tends to move in upward direction, then you need to respect that and make sure that yes, you change, because market is alive. It changes every single second. So you need to make sure that yes, you follow it properly. So the rejection of 153, and then we had jump from 146, 650 area all the way to 149.80. Look how close the levels are set and managed by Apple. Bottom to up to the point from right here to this point. Today is an inside day, and there is a very likely possibility that yes, it may break out. Let me just do one more check here by adding the volume profile just to see if there's a good consolidation in this area and there's a possibility of going down or not. So this area, you see, there's significant consolidation. 100, 115 is there, but there's a good consolidation in this area, relatively good consolidation. So I would not expect it to break it down. I'll be a buyer in it if I get an opportunity. Again, like as in ES, Apple did not have bad numbers. It's just because of the supply demand constraints, but their services sector is still growing. As I said last time, that it will only move up. It may consolidate. Since then, it has made a inside day. So possibility of it breaking out is most likely on the higher side. I will be a buyer around 147, 150 area and keeping a stop loss of 146.20. So Apple, I'll be buying here, keeping one stop loss. Yeah, everything is good. AMD, AMD finally broke out the resistance and closed above it. This is the first time in AMD's charts. Let me just remove this. This is the first time in AMD's chart that yes, it has given a green close above this long-term trend line. First was around 118, 119 area, and now which shows a higher high. And it's kind of making an inverted head and shoulders as well, but not a significant one, but it's there. So now my potential target is 134, 128 and 134. Again, if you see the levels are properly respected to the point, the line is there. And I'm just going to remove this one because they are not no longer required. Remove drawing. Yeah. So now these levels are there. 127.94 should be the first level. Then we should see resistance at the long-term trend line 134 area. And stop loss will be pretty confined 124. 124, you have stop loss, you should be good. AMD is positive now because it has some buy above 125.50, which is today's high. Stop loss 125, 24, target is 134. And I'm 70% confident in it, in AMD. Amazon, I think Amazon is still holding that 32.86 area. Amazon is roughly inside day, but it's respecting this 32.86. So today's high was 33.75.86. So technically it made a higher high and higher low, and it kind of closed in the area where it has seen some level of support. So if it keeps 32.86 as its baseline, there's most likely it has potential to jump. This long-term support line is coming for Amazon. It's kind of making a W, but it failed. So it may try one more time on W and try to jump. So I'm looking forward for this, that because now the stop loss is pretty significant, 32.86, along with the long-term support line. There's very likelihood that it may go down further. It has not gone down below since the COVID, below this long-term trend line. If this breaks below, it could be really nasty. So I don't expect that. But as of now, I'm expecting it. This is a similar chart what we had in Netflix. And I was recommending Netflix to people when it was like 530 to 540. Buy long-term leaps. This is a situation similar in Amazon. This is almost a year of consolidation. 1 year of consolidation. It had similar consolidation right here in this space. 2019, 2020. It never used to move that much. But since then, once it broke out, it never looked back. Same thing it has seen in the past. I have only 3 years of chart, so I'm not going back. But this looks pretty solid base to me. I'm not going to lie. I may go long here in Amazon myself, keeping 32.86 as my stop loss. So I am just keeping this equation as is, and I'm still confident in Amazon. IWM, as I said last week, it broke above this line, a close above this line, 228. First target was 234, which is still right there. 234.50, next is 240. We're going to see 240. Any dip in this should be bought with a stop loss of 230. So any dip towards 232, 233, if you get a chance, you should not miss. Item very positive. Buy dip to 232, keeping stop loss 230. Targets are pretty same. Nothing changed. And 70%. Lucid Motors, as I said, I'm a long-term investor in Lucid Motors. I'm holding these positions. It's making an inside day. Also, because this is a very big move, so I will not even call this in like a evening star at this moment because it's still kind of inside here. The volume was good. So I will keep 34.65 as my stop loss, and I will look to hit 42 again. Once we break 42, we will have a massive move. So everything here is similar, same. There's nothing changed. You may seem some kind of fatigue that yes, it has moved so much, why my options are not moving or why the stock is giving up. No, it's not giving up. It's trying to consolidate. Once it consolidates well, it has good volume here. It will make a base. Plus, this is the long-term trend line. It's not able to close above this. So most likely, once it close above 38, you will see a momentum that you are not going to uh, miss. So I'm just waiting for this 38 close. Once I have 38 close, boom, it will see 42.54 just in a matter of days. Uh, Mr. Catman, I'll share my regression channel coefficients. I'll have a video in which I have shared it, but you can use once I'm on the Zoom call, because once I'm done with my analysis, I will share the Zoom link in the chat and you can come and we can talk about that. So Lucid Motor, my equation is still the same. Airbnb, Expedia both exploded today, and it has a massive green candle. Again, it needs to break out of a 177 area, which is this high. So I'm expecting it to move towards 179 and then break out. So I will be just changing some equations in Airbnb because Airbnb had been consolidating in this area. So I'll be just moving that by above or by near 175 to 177, keeping a stop loss of 172, which I think is the 12 EMA. No, 171 is the 12 EMA. 170.8 by 174. This is the area where it has closed. You see, this closing is significant. So if we have a closing above 175.70, or if we have an open above 175.70, I'll be a buyer. That's 175.70 to buy in this range. So I'll be a buyer in Airbnb in this range, keeping 179 as my target, 179.90 as my first target, and second target would be 190 to 170. They may not achieve in a one day, they may take a couple of days. If that happens, make sure just you trail your cost. I tend to, like, once I'm in a position and if it is in 50% profit, 30% profit, I tend to move my stop losses to the cost so that in any case I do not lose. And I do not place actual stop losses. I mean that my stop loss will move to the price of my cost of the stock, which is this, so that I can follow it properly. Asmin, I will check on Tesla. Lucid, yes. It's going to hold 34, 35 area pretty strongly. It's going to consolidate, and I'm expecting it to move pretty strongly from that point onwards. There are two more stock, XPEV, NEO. Both can move in the similar direction. Moderna, I'm always short on this stock. It today gave almost good return to the people who were short on this, but it kind of made a hammer. And so it was 320, which was almost my first target. Gave about like 25 points on the downside, but then moved up. Again, it's still short. As soon as it comes around 339, the 340 area, just short this thing. There's no point holding on to this. This is going to sink. This area is going to find a fill. I'm just expecting it's consolidating, and I have seen similar setups in few other charts where the candles are coming in between the red and the green line, which is the 34 and the 12 EMA, and then all of a sudden something strikes them and they go down by 10, 20, 30% in just a matter of a day. Today it was down about 25, which is about 8-7%, but it bounced back. Again, I will be looking forward to short this at around 339 area. So I'll be just keeping 339, short below 339. Stop loss will be 351 now. Target is 314, 314. Netflix had an inside day today. And Netflix, again, you see the levels respected. It came, the low is 676.54. Look at this, 676.49. A matter of 5 cents. That's why I say levels are really, really important. Now, this will become an extremely strong support. If we break this, we're going to hit back to 661, which I wanted so that I can enter in Netflix at a cheaper price, but that thing never happened. So tomorrow, if I get an opportunity, I'll be a buyer at 661. If I get an opportunity again, 727 is the ultimate target in this, which is right there, 727. So I'll be a buyer if it breaks over 690, or because this was a massive candle of about 5%, 4% move in Netflix on Friday, and today is a smaller candle. So it looks like inside day, and people tend to play inside day, but this is like about 1% upside, 1% downside move, which is too much to play. So I'll be a buyer at around 677, or I would say in the range of 669 to 677 and keeping a stop loss. So I'll not be a clear-cut buyer. I'll be buyer in like a staircase form. For example, I have to buy 10 lots in Netflix. Okay. So I'll be buying 2 at 678, 79, 2 at 675, 2 at 673, 2 maybe at 669. This way, my average price will be much, much better. Plus, I'll be entering all my position not in one time, but at a regular interval, which keeps my panic pretty much almost zero. So I'll be buying in this range, 670 to 677, keeping a stop loss of 665. This was 668, 662, 663 practically, 663. So 668 to 667. I will not miss the opportunity to enter into Netflix. Remember, you have the opportunity to enter at a cheaper price. There's no need to rush and chase. If this doesn't come, it doesn't come. There's no problem. But if it comes in this area, you should have some capital to invest. Instead of 69, I will be looking at 692, which is the previous high, and then it moves from there. Shopify, I really, really wanted to enter today at 1488, but just because I was on vacation, I did not did anything. Again, you see, it tested right at top of my box. It's going to explode. It's going to move to 1647 pretty soon. Just keep 1493 as a stop loss because this was a resistance previously. Now it's roughly a cup and a handle. It's not like a good cup and a handle, but roughly a cup and handle, or if you want to say roughly a inverted head and shoulders as well. So any dip in this should be bought with the stop loss of 1504. So Shopify, I'm positive. From 1329, you see from 1329, first target, second target, now it's going to look third and fourth, which is all-time high. So I'm pretty confident on this Shopify. So buy above 15 1525, stop loss 1504, and target will be 1566. For the moment, 1566. Okay. Fedex. Fedex was trying to cover that gap fill since the trade. It's holding above this 235.42 line, and I will still hold it if I have a position that yes, I need to have a closure with strength. Every time it's coming in this area, it's kind of struggling. It's had an inside day on the candle, but not clean. So I would just keep the stop loss of 233.34 and buy about 235 area in this case. I'm not playing the actual breakout on the Fedex inside day because this is here, the body is right there underneath the line, and here the body is well above the line. So there's no point playing for the inside day here. But I'll be playing exactly similar here, but my stop loss will move to 233. I'm just marking this as neutral. It has to move up, but it needs to show strength and fill this gap. Uh, roadblocks. Roadblocks has earning coming this week. This is a bearish engulfing because this has covered the entire candle. Came to the support in this. A good support or for this is that if you can get it around 80, 75, keeping 78.56 as a stop loss, because roadblocks had that inverted head and shoulders, but it failed today. So if it doesn't work out this time, it may go down too much. And I'm looking to see that, yes, if it can go below 78.56 or not. So I'll not be taking a trade in roadblocks, but I'll be looking for 78.56 as my inflection. If it holds below this area before the year, I'll not be going long in this. But this time I'm not be touching it. So I'm removing roadblocks. Instead, I'll be entering into Roku. Roku again is respecting my 302.87 level pretty strongly. As soon as it comes up 321, I'll be a buyer. I have tried this multiple times. It has failed multiple times, but I'm still positive on Roku. This is one of the stocks which has not done well in streaming as compared to Netflix, who has bombarded since the earnings. So I'm expecting a good move in Netflix, in Roku as well. Any move above 321, I'll be buyer. Keeping a stop loss of 309, 310. It's a massive stop loss, but either you enter around 309, 310 area, or you enter above 321. So I'll be looking to enter in Roku around, I'm positive, around 310 to 315 area or above 321, keeping stop loss of 308. Target is 321, and next target is this 327. 327 and 345. Once it breaks 345, it's not going to stop. Square also has earnings coming up this week, and it's kind of holding this area. But the problem with Square is making lower highs and lower lows. And with this spending capacity, inflation rising, Square is not going to be a good trade as of now, just to see. Like, it's also making inverted head and shoulders right now. It's setting up for that. It's like, let me just show that to you. Maybe your screen color. You see, this is one. So it's, if it moves about 263, it has potential to go up here to 274. But this area has been a good supply for Square. So I'll be looking forward for this. That yes, if it holds 249 or it goes above 256, that will become a morning star. So let me clear this. If we have a candle like this tomorrow above 256, it will become a morning star and had a very high possibility it to go in this range. But if it fails, then it can get really, really ugly, like my Visa and MA. So I'll be only buying in this if it goes above 257. So I'm not positive. I'm just writing its potential morning star by about 257. Stop loss of 255. It's a very small stop loss of 12 EMA, but has a potential. If it goes up, it has high potential, 275. Tesla was my target of 1172, buy above this in this range. So let's see, where is Tesla? This is the one stock I always miss. It's coming to its long-term trend line target. Last time it hit this area, it got rejected. It's coming back to this area. So I'm expecting a move maybe around 1240, 1250 area. And that's about it. I don't see it going much further than that as of now. So any dip towards 1172 should be bought. And my problem with Tesla is that it has moved almost like 500%, 500 points from consolidation area all the way straight. And this is exponential rise. Exponential rise, and it's just moving because no other stock in the index is moving like this. And there's hardly any. Look at the volume profile, it's pretty thin. If it goes down like this. So I'll be waiting for it to test 1260. If it fails, there's very high possibility that yes, it may make a morning star here, evening star here. It is something similar which is there. It tested once, twice, and then made that evening star, and then all the way it just started to lose. Once it started to lose, because at that time there is no volume here. At these prices, the transactions are pretty small. So when that kind of thing happens, possibility of sliding is pretty high. Possibility of going up is also high. Possibility of sliding is also really, really high. So I'll be taking a checkpoint here as 1172 as my checkpoint. If it holds 1172, I'll be looking forward for 1260. So I'll be looking to, I'm still positive, buy near 1172, or I will say 1185 to 1200 area. Keeping stop loss 1172, target is 1260. I'm not expecting anything above than this. Snow slowly and steadily is moving up every day. It's making higher highs, higher lows, and it's coming in a range where it's about to break out. You see, there's less volume transactions here. I'm waiting for 262. Once it does, and I have position in snow. I have 360 calls for 1119 in snow. They are not in good profit, but they are in profit. I've been holding them for a couple of days. I'm expecting it to break out to 386. It's like slowly and slowly grinding and moving, moving and moving. In between, EMA is also catching up slowly and steadily. So I'm super positive here. Stop loss, again, like one thing which I have explained a few days back, that if you see the close and the open at the same price, that's really, really strong sign. So you should always consider a ticker where the close of the previous candle is exactly similar to the open of the new candle. That's positive. So just keep the stop loss of 354 in this and keep on running. 354 now, buy above 359. Target is this. Palantir, I am extremely positive on Palantir. It closed above this long-term trend line. I wanted to see this after a very long time, that yes, it's able to close. It had this close, but it faded away pretty quickly because this was exponential rise. Here we do not have exponential rise. We have a momentum building up to it. So I'm looking forward to in Palantir. I'm extremely positive on it, and I'm looking forward for a breakout to 30, 35, even 39. There's very high potential here. Stop loss is 25.58, pretty strong stop loss. And any move about 26 should be a buying opportunity for me. So I'll be just looking forward to enter about 26.50, by about 26.50, and stop loss of 25.58. Target is 26.70 is almost there. Target is 30 for now. Microsoft, I have no comments about this stock. This stock just keeps on running. I had 328 target when it was 310, and I told everybody it will touch that. Now it has target of 351, and till the moment it's holding 350, 328 area on the closing basis. It's positive. So if it comes around this line and fill the gap, that will be extremely bad sign, because then it will lose its momentum. But I'll be just marking this as neutral if it holds 328. So any dip in this, buy near 329. Stop loss is 328. Very small stop loss, and look for a target of, there's no stoppage to 352. There's no stopping here. Maybe like first is 332 higher. Let's target 332, 352. Okay, so these were my potential ideas. This I also want to discuss with you, but before that, let me just share the Zoom link. You all can join over there, and then we can have a conversation around this. I'm just sharing the Zoom link in the chat, YouTube chat. Hey, Chris. You all can come and join in between. I'll wait for all of you. I want to do W Burlington, like all of them are really good. It came from 230 and now it made like almost 252. A close above this line in Burlington or in Wayfair, I am super excited that yes, it can move. It has the potential. It has done that in the past. In straight line, it goes up. It will do it again. It's making a W pattern. W is making a W. So I am looking forward to W. It's really bullish. And Chris, everything is in the link. Meeting golden password. Everything is there. So W is pretty positive here. Talking about meeting ID. Let me just 1 second. Usually it should not, but let me just post it here. I have posted the meeting ID and the code both. You may use that. Is it working for you now? Yes, P. I have participants here, so it's working. Okay. So I was talking about W. W is pretty confidently making W as a pattern. So if I go here and see, it's making this pattern. So very high potential from here all the way to this line. W is making this pattern. W. I have participants here, so it's working. Guys, again, like I am said so many times, if you're not speaking, mute yourself. I don't know how should I convey this. That's a simple decorum, even any of the conversations. Let me. If anybody has to speak now, please raise your hands only. Then I'll let you speak. Otherwise, there's no point. Like if you keep on like unmuting yourself and don't respect the decorum, it completely distracts the entire sanity of the meeting. FSR. I also wanted to discuss FSR is looking really, really good. All these solid stocks, they had been consolidating in a good range. And now finally they're waking up. If you look them on the weekly charts, it's looking really, really in potential of a W. So if I use this, let me send this one. This is in the making. Very high potential of it as well. If it breaks this area, it can test back. So very high potential in Fisker as well. And if anybody wants to speak, please, there's an option called raise hand. You can do that. And if you can keep your phone muted, if you're not speaking, I can allow all of you to speak one by one. I'm just giving it a last try. If I find that, yes, you guys not respecting that, then I'll just mute everybody. Then I have FCell. FCell I traded last week before going into vacations. It moved 20% today. A massive move in conjunction with solar moves. Again, like it was beautifully set up. Good consolidation in the weekly zone. Finally had a red green candle above this 34 EMA. It's very strong. Any dip should be bought in FCell now. Any dip towards 820, 825 should be bought in FCell. Blink, similar to Blink, Plug, all these companies are. Nisag, you can speak now, please.
Hey, Naval.
Hi.
Yeah, so I just wanted to get your view on Tesla. So Musk just tweeted an hour back saying that their contract with Hertz rental it's not signed yet. So do you think tomorrow it's gonna go down with this?
100%. 100% is going to go down. But what did he said about that contract? It's a potential of signing up. Let me just check his tweet. Mr. Musk. I don't see anywhere. Did he respond to somebody?
Yeah, he responded to Tesla owners. Yep. Below one.
If any of this is based on, this will kill the stock. That's what I was saying, that 1172 was enough. And now, as I showed you on the chart with the volume profile, because this is not daily, let me just check on the weekly volume. If we do not have good traction, there's hardly any volume here. Look at the volume in this range from where it bounced strongly, and look at the volume here. This is extremely thin. And what time this tweet came in? 1 hour back. I
Yeah,
think
9:48.
Tesla also trades in Germany. So you can check in Germany exchange Tesla at 3 a.m. By 4 a.m. you will have Tesla.
Yeah, I am holding a couple of calls for November 19th, so was worried
If you
about
were in
it.
profit, then you should have booked. If you did not, then you may see again, like it's he has a habit of puncturing the hole in the Tesla stock movements. He has done that multiple times. And that's why I recommend people see the profit, book the profit. Any profit which is booked is the real profit. Anyways, let's see, because this is not a good statement.
Hi, Naval. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Chris.
Okay, thank you.
You wanted to say something?
I was sort of worried about Amazon a little bit. It pulled back on me, and I probably should have cut my loss earlier. But yeah, I'm down like 4K. But it looking like it found the bottom.
base.
And yeah, and I've been seeing all the sweeps came in for the 5th of November for I think 3,400. So I'm hoping maybe it gets a push back up.
It will. It will. See, this is the weekly area. And again, like I like to trade Amazon, and I just said that it's coming to this area, the strong support line. Look at the
Yeah.
consolidation in this area. It will not go down from here.
Okay.
I would also, I have January calls in Amazon 4,000, and I'm still holding them.
Yeah. I have 2 calls. They're the 3550s, and I was checking the open interest and the volume, and it wasn't going down. No one was selling, and the volume was just going up. So I just continued to hold.
See, volume does not mean that there is actually a trade. Volume can do both sides. Like if it's most of the open interest, it's a relationship, it's relative, like volume with open interest and price moving. Let me just check black box on Amazon because I like to trade Amazon. Let me just check Amazon. There is
I
12,
think
17, 3,600 calls. There is 3,000 puts of 920, 2 million, 1.5 million,
yeah,
550 calls.
can you at 207 there was a sweep call. Strike price 3,900 at 1443. The size of it was 388. Open interest was 2,500.
207, I don't see, like you're in which zone?
I think this one is just smart. I signed up for this. I think it's called insider trading or something. I don't know. I don't really like it, but I just give it I just giving it a try. There was 2 of them. I think there were sweeps. I'm not sure.
I have it in front of me if you can see my screen.
Oh, okay. Let me pull it up. I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I don't see a 207. Maybe you're in a different time zone.
Yeah, I am. I'm in Cali, so
207 for you, meaning like 507. There's no trade for 507 here.
no, it was 207 my time. Well, that's what it showed on the map on the.
But 207 means that it's oh, this is 205. It's 3303, about 560, 3,900 call.
No, but the time was 207. That's when the bid came through.
I don't know. I can check that here.
Well, that's what it shows on mine. I mean, either way, the strike price was 3,900, and the price was 1443 per contract.
Let's just check that. It was January, right?
Oh, okay.
Let me just check 3,900.
Yeah, that's it right there.
3900 to 3900. Okay. This one, right? It's 205.12.
Okay, yeah. That's probably it.
It's a call which was bought on the price, and delta is 0.9. IV is this. Underlying was 3301. And then it bounced from there. Yes. And that's it. It's only one trade.
Okay.
And there were a couple of trades at 359, but that's about it, not the bigger ones.
Well, on 10/29 on Friday, Amazon had a dark pool print of 741 million.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't
It does
matter.
not matter.
Okay.
See, again, like you can see the dark pools here. Yeah, dark pool is of 61 million, and they can come. Again, we don't know what is the intent of that dark pool, because
Right.
somebody is buying and somebody is selling. So we
Right.
need to see the impact of that dark pool on the price at the same time. If there is no movement, then it's not clear where it is, what was the intent behind that. So you have to take that dark pool or these flows in relative conjunction to the price action.
Mhm.
Otherwise, there's no point of these trades.
Well, I mean, it does look like it based, so we'll just have to wait and see.
But Amazon is in a range where it should bounce.
Good. Well, this Friday was my first time trading it, so we'll see how this goes.
Yes, you should move out from Moderna. You should move out from Moderna and start.
Oh, well, now now that you're speaking of Moderna, earnings is tomorrow.
I don't play earnings because I have very, very bad experience in any of the earnings all the time.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying in August when Moderna came out at around 100. Remember when I married the stock and pretty much lost everything?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just holding a small position, just a small position in it.
Okay. So let's move on. I have Sophie. Sophie is really, really good. It started moving from 17 break. We had a target of 20 and 22. It tested that. Now it's coming in a selling zone in this area. So I would tend to wait here in Sophie. I would like to wait here. If I can get an entry around 22, that will be good because there's no gaps here. So which is extremely good. But today it had a massive move. There must be a follow through in it. So any entry around 22, I'll be a buyer. Sophie is extremely good. I wanted myself to enter into this. Yes, Money.
Can you look into Intel? I sent you a Twitter message on the chat.
Okay, let me just check Intel. Intel is in good range. It's like 49. It's making a morning star here. You see, when you see this kind of price action, just go long. There's no point. Just go long.
Yeah, just came up today. I saw that in the afternoon after session. So
your first target should be 50, 52, which is the gap fill area. 52. It will do that. The numbers were not so bad. It's just that it was supposed to sell and it got sold. I burned myself in Intel. I had January calls of 60. I'm still holding them.
Yeah, I think I made my targets were very aggressive. I think for 52 and 54. So yeah.
So with earnings, I have decided one thing: I will not be playing weeklies on earnings.
No, I'm not in the earnings. Either I have to enter tomorrow or let it go.
Yeah, so you can actually set this up. If it breaks 49.60, it's good to move to 50. 50.5 and 52. It has very high potential to do that.
Awesome. Thank you.
Nabel, just if you wanted to pull it up for anyone that might be interested, Snap is looking really good right now.
Okay, 1 second, Chris. And they have 3 people. Shri.
Hey, Deep, how are you?
I'm good.
I have a question about a few things. Like, how do you actually buy calls? Like, in what criteria do you buy calls? And other question that I had was like on Caterpillar. What's your thought on it?
I'll do the Caterpillar here. So this is my trading strategy. It's pretty simple. I wait for my ES direction. I do not trade until 10. I observe them around 9:30, 9:45, where it is heading. I do not like, sometimes what we have is we have a trigger in our head that as soon as 9:30 is there, we need to trade. And whenever we do that, 10 out of 15 times, 20 times, or maybe 90% of time we lose, right? So I have cut down on that. I wait till 10. And then I look at the targets which I have defined here. If anything comes in this area, I'll look into that and buy 2 weeks out towards this target as a strike price. That's it. Okay.
Okay.
That's the first thing. Caterpillar is one of my favorite stocks. Caterpillar is inside day. It did really well here, making a good potential morning star. This is not a morning star, it's a potential morning star. So till the moment it's holding 204 area, you should be fine.
Okay. So I'm actually in 215 calls next week. So do you have any target price for it?
Target price is that this area has been pretty hard for Caterpillar to crack. From 205 to 211, 211. This is really, really hard. But one thing which has changed over a period of last couple of months is that the 12 EMA is finally emerging up. And this happened after the ER. Okay, the ER was there. And usually when it starts to run after the ER, like in this case, it had a bad ER, but usually when it used to start run after the ER, it carries on. It carries on and on and on and on. It doesn't stop.
Okay.
So, but this area has been a pain for it, you see. So if this time it breaks out, it will definitely cross 225.
Okay. Okay.
And one more observation regarding Caterpillar, it runs on Wednesdays and Thursdays.
Oh, okay. That's good to know.
Yes, because I love Caterpillar. That's why I know this. We have a request for BA. BA had a morning star today. Bang, bang, bang. But this stock has kicked me in my belly so many times now. I have not included in this list. I wanted to close about 218, 19, and then I will enter. I'm not going to enter in it before that. It may give you a $7 move, but next day it can give back $8. So I want it to close above this line. And I'm expecting as soon as we reach here, maybe 11.11, it might break out from here. But I just need this to go away from me. Then Jemaya. Jemaya also had a good move today. It's a perfect morning star. You can remain long with the stop loss of 19. It will run towards 21. But you remember 21, it has failed so many times. So be cautious at 21. If it moves up, keep a trailing stop loss at 21. Chewy did move to our targets. 73 went above the trend line, but got rejected right from the 23%. It might come down to 73. If it does, it will be a buying opportunity. Yes, Sridhar. Yes, Pankaj.
Yeah, Paji, can you please check Baba? Looks like it's going towards finishing that inverted head and shoulder. It started.
Yes, I was
going
watching
up.
it today in the morning that yes, it's making, let me just add it. Use this nice color and use this. But again, you see this line, the long-term support line acting as a resistance right now, we need to have a closing above this. Once we do that, we will rock it. but it has failed multiple times here. So I wanted to have a close above this. But it's looking much, much better. All right.
Okay.
Anyone else has any of the things? Yes, Sridhar. Are you done? Yes, Nisarg.
Hey, Naval. Can you check Melly?
I have to close this. Like this stock doesn't work on technicals. It's momentum based stock, but it's kind of making a W, half of the W here. Let me just annotate. You see, it's making this piece of it. If it bounces and makes W, it can go like this. But if it fails here, and it needs to have a morning star here, a green candle like this towards 1529, only then it's worth to enter. Otherwise, no. So there's a $30 move, $40 move. It needs to show, which is pretty small for Melly. But if it does, it has potential. Otherwise, it's going down.
Yeah, they have earning coming up in 2 days.
So a potential morning star is something like this: a red candle at the bottom of the trend. This is bottom of the trend almost, right? Dodgy, and then a green candle. If we have this, we call this as morning star. And this is a 3 candle pattern. So it's very effective and shows a bullish intent. The first target will be 1607, and then it will fill this gap. Okay, but I do not trade Melly. I do not.
So, do you have any suggestions on Square before the pre-earnings move?
I already discussed Square. It's right here. It's a potential morning star, but like as Visa and MasterCard both failed on earnings, I don't have high expectation on Square as well. So this is the pattern for Square. I can show you here. It needs to break out. Like again, it has to have a morning star. If we have a candle about 257, it's a morning star, and then we can move up.
Okay, got it.
Asmin, RNG. RNG, I have not traded at all. But this is a good company as far as I understand, Ring Central. And it's potential cup and handle right here. This is cup and handle, C and H. So at least this length, which is consolidation area, which is about 40 points. So if it breaks out here, which is it's showing a potential 40-point move is also there on RNG. Okay. That will be my reply to Aspen. Chris, there's an option. If you look at my screen, there's an option to raise hands. Go to participants. There's an option to raise hand. Hi, Madan. Did I spell it properly?
Yeah. Hi, Naval.
Hi.
Can you take a look at Sam, please?
Sam is dumb. No matter what you do, it's not going to move. My friend has recommended me this million times, and I've told him it's not going to work. And even if after earnings, it's not going to work.
Got it.
If you really, really want to trade, you might trade something else. But if it breaks above 505, the max it will move is 528.
Yeah.
So it's not a high potential rate. Look, this stock was never a mover. It's only in COVID mode. It's still under like very high valuations. It came down almost 70%, but still it's pretty heavy. Okay, so I'll not be entering any trade into SAM.
Okay.
There are much better options available.
How is PayPal looking?
PayPal, who's that?
It's Ramesh.
Yeah, please let your name because I don't know. If you raise your hand, I can definitely see your name, but PayPal can come to 222. It failed 249, it will come down to 222. And that's why I'm saying Square can also come down. At 222, I'll be a buyer in PayPal. 100% buyer. Like potentially it's coming around this area. You see, let me just annotate in this this area, right? I'll be a buyer of 50%. Like if I have to buy stocks, I'll be buying 50 stocks here instead of 100. I'll be buying 50% at this point. I'll not be jumping all my position in PayPal at this time. I'll be taking a PayPal trade when the Square earnings are there. Okay. It's not looking good at this moment. It's making lower lows, lower highs, which is practically negative. Okay. Hardik, you raised your hand.
Hello, bhai. Yeah, how are you?
I'm doing good. Hardik, how are you?
I'm doing good as well. I know, Baji, you do not trade like stocks, like penny stocks, like NNMD. But I wanted to know your views looking at the chart.
Nano dimension, right?
Yeah, Nano Dimension. Is it up for a reversal, bhai?
I don't know, yeah. It's in this. It needs to break out 675.
Okay.
This area, you see,
Mhm.
it has tried multiple times, but it gives back. So if it breaks about 675, yes, I can say yes. Now it has come over this range, and a close above this will be positive. Today it moved really good.
Mhm.
Trend is, you see, right there changing, but
Yeah.
a move above this is a high expectation. That's about 4-5% from here. If it does that, yes, I'll be thinking about this going long, but
Okay.
not here because it has failed so many times here.
Right. Quick question, by looking at the chart. So the dark pink is the supply zone, right? And the blue is the demand one. Is that right?
No, it changes depending on where you put them.
Okay. Okay.
It's like both can be supply and both can be demand. They are
Got
not different. They are same, but this is based on MACD and this is based on EMAs.
Okay. Got it. Bye. Thank you. I'll keep an eye for it to cross 675.
Okay. So Srini is asking about GRD.
Thank you. Bye.
No worries. Yeah. Growth generation. Srini, I have no idea about this company. I can check. This is at the bottom. Or again, like I have hardly any information. If you're on the call, if you can give me some idea about this company, but technically it has rejected this 12 EMA on several occasions in the past. So if we get an opportunity and have a green close above this, we might test 24. But I don't know about this company at all. So that will be the only thing I can share with you. That yes, it needs to close above 12 EMA. It will close right on that. So I want to close above 12 EMA. That will be much better for it. So the 12 EMA is 22.9 and today closed 22.16. So out on the same place. If it close about 23, 22.50, 22.75, it will be much better. Anyone else has anything to discuss?
Naval, this is Mani, your regression channel coefficients.
Regression channel, right? Let me go to ES. I actually have a video for that. but this is what I have in my regression channel. But it's
It's in the
totally
YouTube.
like, yes, I have videos for this.
Okay, I'll check it
I
out.
have, but this is 1.5, 7.5, 2.5. But it totally depends. How do you place them? It's not what are the coefficients. Even if you use a normal regression channel, it's the point way to place them. That is important. And that
Got
can only come if you do a practice.
What was that? No, you
I
come
think
only if you do.
if you do back testing and practice,
Okay. Okay.
like people tend to take from here, like you see a chart from where you want to place this regression channel, that is the entire thing. If you place it here, you place it here, you might have these lines, but you may not have working for you unless and until you keep on practicing and come to a conclusion that yes, I have to go back 2 years, 3 years, 3 months, 1 quarter. Get that? So that is really important, and that can only
Yeah.
come if you keep on practicing it.
Got it. Thank you.
Hi, Joy. And guys, if you're done with your question, please lower your hand. So
Yes, hi.
Hi, Joy.
Hey. Hey. So I just noticed that Kathy Wood sold 400,000 shares of Palantir. So should that be a reason to sell?
No, not at all. See, as per my chart, we have this closure, which is above the blue line, right? And it has been struggling to cross this. You see, it has spent almost a year, almost like 10 months from February to here. It is not able to break this line. So if it is generating momentum to break this line, it will be really, really strong. And what Kathy Wood does, she has a substantial percentage in her like fund. So any stock which crosses that percentage, she has to sell that just to make sure that yes, the percentage of that stock in her portfolio remains same.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
You should not be considering her buying or her selling as a potential intent to buy or sell. Because if she has, let's say, she bought Palantir at 15, and now that 1 million Palantir is giving her 25, 26 million Palantir, and she has defined that only 1% of her portfolio should be allocated to Palantir, she would sell the rest of the Palantir to make sure that, yes, that Palantir component is still 1% of the portfolio. That's how they do it.
All right. Appreciate it. Thank you.
No worries. Yes, Shubhnaji.
And welcome back, Navalji. We missed you today in the text. No alerts from you. Hope you had a great time.
Yep. Thank you.
I had a question about ABCL. It's a bio stock.
ABCL?
Yes.
ABCL.
I'm holding stocks. Just wanted to know your view.
See, bio companies are not technical companies. Like you have to wait for a catalyst for them.
Yeah.
Do you know any catalyst on FDA side for them? Any?
No, nothing right now coming up.
Technically, like, because these companies do not trade on technicals. So,
Okay.
but I can. It's still positive at this moment. If it breaks 1729, you may have some move in it.
Okay.
Towards 1870. Because this is the area where it has seen some kind of support and resistance while going up and support while coming down. So 1870 would be a potential target if it crosses above 1730.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Thanks, Srini. Ashwin, I have what do you call cannabis CGC. So I don't take drill ray, but I do have CGC. and I'm long in it. Okay, so if we
Hey,
don't have
Naval, this is Sony. Did we
Yes.
look at actually coin?
Coin had a target of 350 something, right?
Yeah.
It's moving towards that. It had a inside day, and today it broke out and almost just at 338. So it's towards this move to 352.
Good. Okay.
And we've been talking about this like from 230, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's about time. If you are in this in stocks, it's time to take profits.
Got it.
How
But
many candles do we
yeah,
have?
it's already actually like almost 11 candles up.
That's what I'm saying. It's time to book profits.
Yeah.
13 is the max. I take it, but that's about it. It's like if I have to swing, I'll swing max to 13, but that's a stretch. Usually with options, I tend to get out at fourth candle. Third is my good thing. Fourth, if I stretch. But if I have really good position, like in a case of airlines, I tend to carry it. So today I had UAL, which I just said I am pretty positive on it, and I'm holding the UAL positions.
Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else? Otherwise, it's already 11:50, and I need to.
Naval, this is Chris again. I just had a question about you posted on your chart inside day for Apple and Netflix. What can you explain what that is?
Inside day. Let me just, and this is for everybody who don't know what inside day is. If you see candle, this was Friday's candle, and this is today's candle. So when you have a candle within the previous candle, like the high of previous candle is higher than today's candle, and the low of previous candle is lower than today's candle, it is called inside day. This means it's getting consolidated and it's about to break out. This is one of the strongest price action patterns, and this is in related to the volume. So the volume of previous day will be much higher than the volume of today.
Is it sort of like a doji?
The doji is this one, like if you
Yeah.
take it individually, but if there's a candle with high volume for previous day, and if you compare it with today, today's high and low prices should be between the range of previous day high and low, and volume of today should be lower than previous day. It means it's getting consolidated and it's a breakout.
Oh, okay. The green EMA that you have right there, is that your what EMA is that?
I use 1234.
Okay.
I don't use 821 all because that don't work for me. I use this, it works for me.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
All right, guys. Good night for now.
Good night.
We'll catch up tomorrow.
Thank you.
And
Good
all the
night.
very best to all of you.
Good night, everybody.
Same to
Good
you.
night.
Thanks.
Bye.
Good night.